Yeah, my name is Edward Katende. I am an executive director of Uganda Development Forum. I want to congratulate my brother Willie for this far he has come. We started the conversion when I worked here in London as an insolvency practitioner, but working with him, we came to meeting like this. Opportunities back in Uganda were presented to us. I just went to test opportunities and I stayed there. I left what people call the big monies in London, went to Uganda where actually than what I was making here in London. So for those who are still in London, it is great, keep working. For those who want to come back, don't fear to make the leap to join us. Our economy, like they are presented, is growing, expected to grow 10 times between now and 2040. We have great opportunities. So on this panel, we have colleagues who are investing, who are involved in those 4 sectors that we have mentioned earlier. So the ATMs, as they call them. But they are also enablers. I think in the morning, Governor, you did not talk about the enablers. While we have the ATMs, those are sectors. But we also have the enablers that will power our 10-fold growth strategy, including infrastructure, security, and other sectors of the economy. So for real jobs, certainly the 4, but our key enablers are still open for investment. What are the opportunities that you see in your daily work that you can tell the investors in this room to come and join you?
Thank you. I'll try and take the 3 minutes. GridWorks was set up to invest in transmission and distribution in Africa because there was a recognition of the bottlenecks in electricity transmission and the distribution. Looking at the continent, the market that GridWorks chose as its first and probably most important market was Uganda. And there's a reason for that. The reason we selected Uganda is because the regulation, the laws in the electricity sector were very well developed. And the country had experience in dealing with private sector investment and managing that investment in a way that allowed for a private developer, for the private investors to actually do a good job and make money while develop the country. So GridWorks selected Uganda as its first and to date most important country to invest in. We expect over the next maybe 3-4 years to invest about $500 million in the electricity transmission sector. We also have interest in investing further within the different subsectors in electricity, that's within distribution as well. We see that Uganda, as I already said, the structure of the sector promotes private sector investment, and we encourage the government, and as I said earlier, we thank the Ministry of Energy and other supportive ministries around it to continue in that trajectory to ensure that we continue attracting the kind of investment that is required to develop infrastructure. What do I see as opportunities in electricity and wider infrastructure? One is on the independent power transmission. That's the backlog for electricity transmission in Uganda is about $3 billion of investment required to maintain the state of development. And that means government alone cannot invest in all the infrastructure required for just transmission. That needs to come from somewhere. Companies like us are ready to come in and invest, but there'll be a need for even more companies to invest in electricity transmission. The other space, which I know the government has looked at quite a lot, has been in the diversification of power generation, including geothermal, wind, nuclear, as we see it already going in that direction. And those are areas where potential investors can look at. What I would see as I end is that there is a perception, maybe a perception that investing in markets like Uganda, because we are asked this question, why didn't you go to, when a company is thinking about investment in Africa, you always think about South Africa, Nigeria, Kenya, or Egypt as your base for investment. And so there is a perception that those are the areas where there is opportunity to invest. But when you go below the surface, you realize that markets like Uganda are actually very interesting and very good for investment. And I would encourage the government representatives who are here, as well as ourselves, companies that are already investing in Uganda, to continue to encourage those with deep pockets to be able to invest, because that's what infrastructure requires. Thank you.